What if I told you there's a machine that walks through forests on 6 mechanical legs like something straight out of Star Wars? Or a helicopter that rips entire trees off mountainsides and carries them away dangling from a cable? The forestry industry has quietly built some of the most bizarre, terrifying, and jaw-dropping machines on the planet, and most people have never even heard of them. Today, we're counting down 10 of the strangest forestry machines ever built. And trust me, number 1 will make you question everything you thought you knew about cutting trees. Let's get into it. Number 10. The Tree Crusher. We're kicking off this list with a machine that does exactly what its name suggests. The Tree Crusher, also known as a land-clearing drum mulcher, doesn't bother with saws, axes, or any kind of delicate cutting. Instead, it uses a massive rotating steel drum fitted with dozens of hardened steel teeth to literally pulverize trees, stumps, and brush into mulch. We're talking about machines mounted on tracked carriers weighing upwards of 20 tons, spinning their drums at hundreds of revolutions per minute. Companies like FAE and Ficon have built some of the most powerful versions of these machines. FAE, an Italian manufacturer founded in 1989, produces forestry mulchers that can be mounted on excavators, skid steers, and dedicated tracked carriers. Their larger models, like the ones designed for excavators up to 40 tons, can chew through hardwood trees with trunk diameters exceeding 30 centimeters in seconds. What makes these machines so strange isn't just the raw destruction. It's the fact that they leave almost nothing behind. A full-grown tree goes in one end, and what comes out the other side is a layer of fine wood chips spread evenly across the ground. No stumps, no slash piles, no evidence a tree ever stood there. Forestry crews use them for land clearing, firebreak creation, and invasive species removal. In wildfire-prone regions of California and Australia, drum mulchers have become essential tools for reducing fuel loads in forests. The teeth on these drums are replaceable carbide-tipped tools that can be swapped out in the field when they wear down. Some models feature fixed-tooth drums, while others use swinging hammer-style cutters that can absorb impacts from rocks and debris without damaging the drum itself. The hydraulic systems powering these drums deliver enormous torque, allowing operators to maintain a steady feed rate even through dense hardwood. They're loud, violent, and oddly satisfying to watch in action. Number 9. The Ponsse Scorpion Harvester. At first glance, the Ponsse Scorpion looks like it was designed by someone who builds movie props for science fiction films. But this machine is very real, and it's one of the most advanced forestry harvesters on the planet. Ponsse is a Finnish company founded in 1970 in the small village of Vierumäe by a man named Einari Widgren. The Scorpion harvester was first introduced to the public in 2013, and it immediately turned heads. What makes it so unusual is the placement of its crane. On most harvesters, the boom is mounted on the front chassis. On the Scorpion, the crane is mounted on the roof of the cabin. This design came from Ponsse's very first forest tractor, the Pika, which also had its loader on the roof. The principal designer, Pentti Hukkinen, realized that a roof-mounted boom would never obstruct the operator's line of sight. The cabin itself is another story. It features a one-piece windscreen that extends all the way up to the roof, giving the operator an almost panoramic view of the forest. The cabin has an active leveling and stabilization system, meaning it stays perfectly level even when the machine is operating on steep or uneven terrain. Inside, it feels more like a cockpit than a logging cab, with the Opti 5G information system running on a 15.6-inch touchscreen computer. Since its launch, over 1,200 Scorpion harvesters have been built, and the machine now operates in more than 25 countries. The latest addition to the family, the Scorpion Giant, offers 11% more tractive force and can be fitted with the H8 harvester head for handling large diameter trees. About 80% of the Scorpion's technical solutions were completely new when it was first introduced, making it one of the most revolutionary forestry machines of the 21st century. Number 8. The Menzi Muck Spider Excavator. Imagine a mechanical spider the size of a small building, crawling across mountainsides and wading through rivers. That's essentially what a Menzi Muck Spider Excavator is. The story starts in 1966 when a Swiss entrepreneur named Ernst Menzi and a Liechtenstein engineer named Joseph Kaiser teamed up to create an excavator that could work safely on the steep alpine slopes of Switzerland. The result was the world's first walking excavator, the Menzi Muck 2500. Powered by a modest 25-horsepower two-cylinder Hatz diesel engine. Only 2 of that original model were ever built before the design was improved. What makes the Menzi Muck so strange is its undercarriage. Instead of tracks or fixed wheels, it has 4 independently articulated legs, each equipped with a wheel. These legs can move up, down, in, and out, allowing the machine to adapt to virtually any terrain. It can work comfortably on slopes exceeding 45 degrees, wade through water up to 2.2 meters deep, and even traverse deep mud without getting stuck. A Menzi Muck weighing 9.5 tons can produce lifting and ripping forces equivalent to a conventional 20-ton tracked excavator. In forestry, these spider excavators are fitted with mulcher heads, harvester attachments, and winches for steep slope logging. They're used across Europe, North America, Australia, New Zealand, and even Antarctica. When fitted with a forestry winch carrying 100 meters of cable, the machine can secure itself to anchor points and work on slopes exceeding 100% gradient. Watching one of these machines walk across a near vertical hillside is genuinely unsettling, like watching a giant mechanical creature defy gravity. Number 7. The Plustech Walking Harvester. If the Menzi Muck is a mechanical spider, then the Plustech Walking Harvester is a mechanical insect straight out of a science fiction movie. This machine walks on 6 articulated legs and looks like it belongs in the Star Wars universe rather than a Finnish forest. The walking harvester was developed by Plustech Oy, a subsidiary of Timberjack, which itself was later acquired by John Deere. Design work began in 1995, and the prototype, known as the Plusjack, was presented in 1999. Only 2 were ever built. The concept was simple but radical. Conventional forestry machines use wheels or tracks which compact the soil, leave deep ruts, and channel rainwater into erosion patterns. The walking harvester's 6 legs spread the machine's weight across independent footpads, leaving the forest floor virtually undisturbed. Each leg moved independently, allowing the machine to adapt automatically to uneven terrain. It could walk forward, backward, sideways, and diagonally. It could turn in place and step over obstacles. The operator could adjust both the ground clearance and the height of each step depending on the terrain. Sensors embedded in the legs detected the texture and slope of the ground, distributing the machine's weight in real time. A harvesting head mounted on a boom could grab, fell, delimb, and buck a tree in seconds. All controls were managed through a single joystick using Timberjack's total machine control system. So why did it never go into production? 2 reasons: price and speed. The walking harvester was expensive to manufacture and painfully slow compared to wheeled harvesters. John Deere acknowledged the technology was too far ahead of its time. Today, one of the 2 prototypes sits on display at the Lusto Finnish Forest Museum, and the other is exhibited at the John Deere Pavilion in Moline, Illinois. Number 6. The Feller Buncher. The Feller Buncher might be the most terrifyingly efficient machine on this list. It's essentially a massive hydraulic claw mounted on a tracked or wheeled carrier, and it can cut through a full-grown tree in less than 1 second. Not exaggerating. Less than 1 second. Here's how it works. The machine drives up to a tree. A giant disc saw or shear at the base of the accumulating head bites through the trunk. Hydraulic arms grab the tree and hold it upright. Then the machine reaches for the next tree and the next, bunching multiple felled trees together before laying them down in organized piles for a skidder to collect. Companies like Tiger Cat, John Deere, and Caterpillar all manufacture feller bunchers. Tiger Cat, founded in 1992 in Paris, Ontario, by a group of logging experts who teamed up with McDonald Steel, has become one of the industry leaders. Their machines are purpose-built for forestry, and their feller bunchers are known for their speed and reliability. What makes the feller buncher strange is watching it work. 2 trees can be cut and secured in 6 seconds. A skilled operator can clear an acre of forest in a matter of hours. The sheer speed creates an almost surreal visual, like watching a robot harvest a field of wheat. Except the wheat stalks are 20-meter-tall pine trees. Modern feller bunchers come in both tracked and wheeled versions, with tracked models generally preferred for soft or steep terrain. The disc saws on the cutting heads can exceed 75 centimeters in diameter, spinning at high speed to slice through hardwood trunks. Some models use hydraulic shears instead of disc saws, which are quieter and require less maintenance, but are slower on larger diameter trees. The accumulating arms can hold multiple stems simultaneously, allowing the operator to bunch 5 or 6 trees before laying them down in a single organized pile. It's one of those machines that makes you appreciate just how far industrial engineering has come, and also makes you slightly terrified of what humans are capable of building. Number 5. The Sikorsky S64 Skycrane. Helicopter logging. Helicopter logging sounds like something from an action movie, but it's been a real forestry practice since the early 1970s, and the machine that made it possible is the Sikorsky S64 Skycrane, later renamed the S64 Air Crane. The story begins with Jack Erickson, an Oregon logger who had the idea to use helicopters to extract timber from steep slopes in Northern California. In 1971, he started with a Sikorsky S61 leased from Columbia Helicopters, but quickly found it underpowered. He then leased the far more capable S64, a twin-engine heavy-lift helicopter, originally designed for the U.S. Army as the CH-54 Tari. That decision led to the founding of Erickson Air Crane in December 1971. The S64 is an absolute beast. It's powered by 2 Pratt & Whitney turboshaft engines, and it can carry an external payload of up to 20,000 pounds from a single-point cargo hoist. The helicopter's unique skeletal design, basically a stick fuselage with no traditional cabin, was specifically engineered for lifting. The flight engineer sits in an aft-facing station and can actually pilot the helicopter from that position while watching the load below. In logging operations, the air crane hovers over a cut site, lowers a cable, and ground crews attach bundles of felled trees. The helicopter then lifts the logs vertically and flies them to a landing area, often miles away. This eliminates the need for logging roads, which are expensive to build and cause massive environmental damage through erosion and habitat fragmentation. In 1992, Erickson purchased the S64 type certificate from Sikorsky and became both the manufacturer and the world's largest operator of the aircraft. Today, Erickson operates a fleet of around 16 air cranes worldwide. Over the past 50 years, Erickson's engineers have made more than 1,350 improvements to the airframe. It remains one of the strangest and most spectacular forestry operations you'll ever see. Number 4. The Cable Yarder Tower System. Cable yarders look like something out of an industrial nightmare. They're essentially truck-mounted steel towers with a complex system of cables, pulleys, and carriages that stretch across steep mountain valleys to extract timber from slopes where no machine could ever drive. The Austrian company Kohler Forsttechnik is one of the leading manufacturers. Their K507 model, a tower yarder mounted on a truck, works with a 2 or 3 cable system depending on whether it's yarding uphill, downhill, or horizontally. The maximum cable corridor length can reach up to 700 meters. Over a 9-year documentation period by the Bavarian State Forests, a single K507 and its crew conducted 223 operations, yarding over 271,000 trees with a total volume exceeding 71,000 cubic meters. Setting up a cable yarder is an operation in itself. Crews must identify anchor trees, tail trees, and intermediate supports along the cable corridor. If no suitable anchor trees exist, an excavator with a tail spar function is brought in. Once the skyline cable is strung across the valley, a motorized carriage rides along it, lowering a cable to the forest floor, where crews attach logs. The carriage then hauls the logs up to the landing at the road. Cable yarders have been used in European mountain forestry for decades, particularly in Austria, Switzerland, Germany, and Scandinavia. They're also widely used in the Pacific Northwest of the United States and in New Zealand. The crews that operate these systems are among the most skilled in the entire forestry industry. Installing a cable corridor requires precise calculations of cable tension, sag, and load-bearing capacity. A poorly rigged skyline can snap under load, sending tons of steel cable whipping through the forest with lethal force. What makes cable yarders strange is the sheer scale and complexity of the setup, and the sight of massive logs flying through the air suspended from a thin cable hundreds of meters above the valley floor. From a distance, it looks almost magical, as if the trees are floating up the mountain on their own. Up close, the noise of the diesel winches, the screech of cables under tension, and the thundering crash of logs being dropped at the landing remind you that this is one of the most intense forestry operations in existence. Number 3. The autonomous forestry robot. In 2024, a team led by Pedro Lahera at the Swedish University of Agricultural Sciences published a groundbreaking paper in the Journal of Field Robotics, introducing what they described as the world's first fully autonomous forestry machine. This robot can navigate through forests, pick up logs, and handle rough terrain entirely on its own, with zero human input. The machine is equipped with computer vision systems that allow it to perceive and understand its surroundings, autonomous navigation algorithms that plan its path through dense forest, and manipulator control algorithms that enable it to grab and move logs with precision comparable to a human operator. What makes this machine strange isn't just the technology. It's the implication. Forestry has historically been one of the most dangerous occupations in the world. According to various international labor statistics, logging consistently ranks among the top most hazardous professions, with high rates of fatalities caused by falling trees, equipment accidents, and working in remote locations far from medical help. An autonomous machine that can perform these tasks without putting a single human life at risk represents a fundamental shift in how forests could be managed. The researchers envision a future where these robots can be programmed to work with extreme precision, causing less damage to surrounding ecosystems than human-operated machines. They could theoretically harvest selectively, leaving specific trees untouched based on pre-programmed ecological criteria. The machine uses LiDAR sensors, stereo cameras, and inertial measurement units working together to build a real-time, three-dimensional map of the forest around it. It can distinguish between tree trunks, stumps, rocks, and other obstacles obstacles and plan efficient paths through dense undergrowth. The technology is still in its early stages, but the prototype has proven that the concept works. The manipulator arm demonstrated the ability to pick up and stack logs of varying sizes and weights without human guidance. The navigation system successfully plotted courses through unstructured forest environments, something that is far more challenging than navigating roads or warehouses. We may be witnessing the beginning of a complete transformation in forestry, one where machines work around the clock in remote forests without risking a single human life. Number 2. The Valmet Bear, articulated forestry monster. Before modern harvesters became sleek, computer-controlled machines, there were machines that looked and behaved like absolute beasts. One of the strangest examples is the Valmet Bear series, early articulated harvesters that helped shape modern logging, but looked nothing like the machines we see today. Valmet, a Finnish manufacturer, now part of Komatsu Forest, built these machines in the 1980s. Models like the Valmet 901, 901, and later 941 were among the first serious attempts to create powerful, all-in-one harvesting machines capable of working in rough Nordic forests. What made them strange wasn't just their appearance, it was how they moved. These machines used a fully articulated chassis, meaning the entire machine bends in the middle when turning. Combined with massive forestry tires and a heavy upper structure, they moved through forests like a giant mechanical animal, constantly twisting and adjusting to terrain. The boom arm mounted a harvester head capable of grabbing a tree, cutting it at the base, deliming it, cutting it into precise lengths, all in seconds. But compared to modern machines, these early harvesters felt raw, almost aggressive. There were no smooth touchscreen systems, no refined automation, just hydraulic power, mechanical control, and an operator managing everything manually. The cabins were simpler, visibility was more limited, and the machines felt alive in a way newer ones don't. That's where the nickname Bear comes from. They didn't glide through forests, they pushed through them. Thick mud, uneven terrain, dense timber. These machines didn't avoid obstacles, they powered over them. Watching one operate feels less like modern machinery and more like a mechanical creature working its way through the woods. And yet, despite their rough nature, they laid the groundwork for everything that came after. Modern harvesters from Ponsse, Komatsu, and John Deere all evolved from machines like these. What makes the Valmet Bear so strange is that it sits right in the middle of two eras, not primitive, not modern, but something raw, experimental, and powerful, a machine that feels more like a prototype of the future than a product of its time. And that's why it earns the number 2 spot. Number 1. The Pika Model 75, the world's first harvester. And at number 1, we're going back to where it all started. The Pika Model 75, the world's first fully mobile timber harvester, introduced in 1973 by Finnish systems engineer Sakari Pinomäki and his company Pika Forest Machines. Before the Pika Model 75, tree harvesting was done almost entirely by hand. Loggers felled trees with chainsaws, delimbed them manually, and cut them into logs on the forest floor. It was back-breaking, dangerous, and slow. Pinomäki envisioned a machine that could do all of that work from a single operator's cab. The Pika Model 75 was the answer. It was a purpose-built vehicle equipped with a mechanical arm that could reach out, grab a tree, cut it at the base, pull it through a set of delimbing knives to strip off branches, and then buck it into measured log lengths. One operator, one machine. A complete harvesting cycle. The first single-grip harvester head, which could perform all these functions with a single attachment, was later introduced in the early 1980s by the Swedish company SP Maskiner. But it was Pinomäki's Pika that proved the concept was viable. What makes the Pika Model 75 the strangest machine on this list isn't its appearance. It actually looks fairly conventional by modern standards. What makes it strange is the sheer audacity of the idea. In 1973, the notion that a single machine operated by one person could replicate the work of an entire logging crew seemed almost absurd. Logging had been done essentially the same way for centuries. Teams of men with saws, horses, or tractors for skidding, and manual labor for everything in between. Ponsse looked at all of that and said, "One machine can do it all." And he was right. The Pika proved the concept was viable, and the forestry world took notice. Within a decade, manufacturers across Scandinavia were racing to build their own versions. The cut-to-length harvesting method that the Pika pioneered is now the dominant logging system in Scandinavia, where harvesters and forwarders handle practically all commercial felling. Today, modern harvesters built by companies like Ponsse, John Deere, and Komatsu are direct descendants of Ponsse original vision. These machines can process a tree from standing timber to measured log lengths in under 30 seconds, guided by onboard computers that calculate optimal cutting patterns to maximize the value of each stem. From Finland in 1973 to forests on every continent today, the Pika Model 75 is the machine that changed everything, and that's why it sits at number 1. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Drop a comment below and let me know which machine blew your mind the most. Was it the walking harvester, the balloon logging system, the autonomous robot, or something else entirely? And if you think we missed a machine that deserves to be on this list, let us know. We read every single comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.